Krista in Las Vegas, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the pros and the cons of working for VIPKid. And I also work as a FastPass coach for VIPKid, which means I coach potential new hires at hiring events on how to pass their mock class and get hired. Okay, let's start with the pros. Let's start with the positive first. Number one pro, and probably the most important pro, is it's fun. Not every single lesson is fun, but most of the time, for the most part, it's really fun. I have a lot of fun doing it, and my whole life, my dad has always said if you can find something that you enjoy doing, you'll never work a day in your life. And not all the time, but that's how I feel about VIPKid a lot of the time. Since I started doing it full time about 2 months ago, a month ago, I've told my husband multiple times, it's like I don't really feel like I'm working because I don't dread work. It's more of like a lifestyle, I guess. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun and I really enjoy it. And sometimes I feel like spoiled. I'm like, am I retired because I enjoy my work so it doesn't really feel like a job? Okay, just to add on to that pro real quick is it's easy. It's not easy at first because teaching number one online and number two English language learners through the computer is something that takes a lot of getting used to. But just like anything, after you've done it for a substantial amount of time, all of a sudden it kind of clicks and you start feeling like it's really easy. You really get to know the different levels and what they mean as far as the child's ability to speak English. So at that point, you can really adjust the way you interact with the child based on the level of the lesson. And also, you start to see the lessons over and over because, I mean, there are a ton of lessons, but there are only so many. And so you start seeing repeat lessons, and it just becomes really easy with time. Okay, pro number two, and this is a big one, is it's work from home. You can work from home, or, I mean, it's mobile. You can work anywhere that there's Wi Fi, good Wi Fi, and your laptop. That's kind of a big one. Not having to get in my car and drive to work every day and battle traffic, deal with people, if you don't like people. Yeah, you get to work from home. That's a huge one. Pro number three, the schedule. You are in charge of your schedule. You get to decide what time slots you open up, what time slots you keep closed. If you want to take off a week to go somewhere, that's fine. If you want to take off a certain day each week, that's fine. You are 100% in charge of your schedule. Now, a long time ago, VIPKid did have minimum requirements. So each week you had to work a minimum amount of classes, but they don't have that anymore. So you have full control of your schedule. If you want to take a month off, you can. If you want to take, I don't know, 2 weeks off, you can. You have full control. Number four, and this is, I guess this is the same as regular classroom teaching, but it's very rewarding. It's rewarding. After a while, you start to build your following and gain your regulars who you see frequently. Some of my regulars I see sometimes even 3 or 4 times a week. Sometimes they'll book me back to back, so I'll have them for a full hour. You start to have them for a long period of time, and you see their growth and their ability to speak and understand English, and it's really rewarding because it's like, I did that. Pro number five, and this kind of goes along with number three, is you are your own boss. Now, of course, I mean, it is still VIPKid. It's still a company. They have their standards, their expectations, their curriculum. Of course, you have to follow all that. But what I'm saying is, once you've been doing it for a little while and you get comfortable with their model and their curriculum and the techniques they want you to use and the way they want you to do things, which just so happens to be the actual ways that the kids learn. I have found that when I actually do things their way and what they want, what they teach me, lo and behold, that's what helps the kids. So I don't know if it's research based, but I would probably assume that it is. But after you get all of that and you kind of get comfortable and you understand how the company works and you get your flow, you really are your own boss. I mean, you're kind of in charge. Yes, of course you follow the curriculum, but you can monitor and adjust the way you want to. You have that freedom. You can change up your classroom, you can change your schedule, you can really do whatever you want within those limits. Okay, now that we've covered 5 pros, super awesome pros of this job, now we have to go over some of the cons. Okay, I'm going to start with what many would consider the biggest con of all, and others would consider to be a pro, is the hours. You are teaching children in China, so the available hours are really the opposite of when we would normally work. I actually think it's a pro personally because I'm very much a morning person. So even if, I get up at 12 or 1 and then I teach till 7 a.m., I like that because I get up, I'm fresh, I, put myself together, come in here, teach, and then at 7 o'clock when I'm done, I just wrap up my feedback and I'm done for the day. So, you don't have to spend all day thinking about like, I have to go to work tonight, because a lot of the peak times are those more early morning hours. So yeah, if you're a morning person, I would say this is actually a pro. But many people consider this to be a major con. They don't want to work through the night. Okay, number 2, another big con is there are no benefits. Now, I don't know if this will change in the future. I'm hopeful that maybe it will. But if you are someone who maybe is not married or does not, let me rewind, who needs those benefits like health benefits, retirement benefits, all of that, this might not be for you because there are no benefits. We act as independent contractors. Okay, con number 3 is the pay. While the pay is not bad by any means, if you are a full time brick and mortar teacher who decides to switch to online teaching, you are going to take a small pay cut. The full time pay with VIPKid is pretty close to the salary of a new teacher in a school district. So it may be a small pay cut for you if you have a lot of experience in education. But yeah, it's just slightly less than a new teacher. And honestly, in my opinion, it's well worth it. Um, you have a whole lot more freedom, you have a whole lot less stress, and you get to enjoy your job a whole lot. There's so many good things about this job. And really, the pay cut isn't that much. It's very close to what I would be making anyway. And really, I mean, what's it worth? What's it worth to be happier and have a nicer lifestyle? Yeah, in my opinion, it's very much worth it. Now, if you're already a teacher, I'm sure you've seen the advertisements because VIPKid is all over Facebook and Instagram and everywhere else. The way that they advertise is $14 to $22 an hour, and the pay structure can be a little confusing if you're not aware of the way that it works. So I'm not going to get into that right now, but hopefully in the future I will make another video that breaks that down so that it does make more sense. Okay, con number 4. That is that we are independent contractors. So, what that means is when we get paid every month, or actually soon to be twice a month, taxes have not yet been taken out of our check. So, you have to set money aside for taxes so that you have that money to pay at the end of the year. Or if you want, you can make quarterly estimate payments throughout the year, which is what I do, and I find that that's a lot easier than setting money aside for the end of the year. Okay, so we are on 6-month contracts. So what that means is technically if they wanted to not hire you back after that contract is over, then they wouldn't have to, but I've never heard of that happening, and I can't imagine it would happen unless maybe A, you had a lot of negative parent feedback, or B, you exceeded the cancellation limit, or C, if you had a bunch of teacher no-shows, then they probably wouldn't renew you. And last but not least, that brings me to con number 5, and that is difficult students. Now, you're going to have difficult students whether you're an online teacher or a brick and mortar teacher or any other type of teacher. That just comes with the territory. But the good news is with VIPKid, if you have that student who either A is misbehaving, B seems annoyed by you, C acts like the last thing they want to be doing is being there with you, the good news is you only have to deal with that child for 25 minutes. And once you see that 25, I will see you next time. Goodbye. Click. You're out. That's all. That's done. If you have any questions at all about anything, please feel free to leave a comment below and I'll respond as soon as I can. Or email me, and my email address is below. It's vipkid.krista@gmail.com. Okay, thank you for watching, and as we say in the classroom, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.